Hey, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, we're going to be building thread clone. So this video is basically about building thread clone. So we've done some parts, so make sure you watch those parts before catching up with this full video. All right, so this is what you're just going to be finishing up in this tutorial. So you're able to register. So we should be able to create an account. So I should be able to create an account. If I want to create an account, and I'll also be able to log in. So I have an account already, so what I can do is I can log in. All right, and I can say password. So if I click login, incorrect conditions. So now I can go ahead and click on login, and you see I'll be successfully logged in, and these are the posts that we've created already. So to create a post, you can head over to post, and you can have this is my first post. All right, I can click on post. Like I say, it's successfully posted, and we should check it out. So here we can see this is my first post. You can like, and I can also comment. Welcome to threads. So that's commented already. So if I should check out the single post, I can click on it. You can see welcome to threads here. And also we can also post with image, and we can also use from camera also. So you can also post from camera. So that doesn't work on iOS. If you check it on your Android emulator, that should work. So this is loading. Okay, so select an image. I can select an image, and I can give it a caption, me in the beautiful place. Okay, it's going to display, so I can click on post. I can click on post, successfully posted. Initially, this is meant to redirect you to the home, but I think because I'm screen recording, so the process is a little bit too big. Okay, you can see you have me in the beautiful place, and where we can also comment. This is nice. You can see this is like the bottom sheet from GetTech from threads. So you can see our comment. The same thing, you can also include it in this place also. All right, so that's what we're going to be doing in this tutorial, which is going to cover everything. So once you're done with this, I believe we should be able to implement the profile, because I just realized in our API we did not implement a profile page, profile API. So I wanted to do that, and also I wanted to implement the search. You can also try and implement the likes, so these notifications if you want to. So just do that, and I'm actually waiting for someone that can actually do it and send me a message on Twitter that they've actually done it. All right, so without further ado, let us dive into the video. All right, so what I want to do is just open up the project. So I'm basically just going to open up the project, and okay, so I'm just going to open up the project. I'm going to increase this so you can see. I'm going to see the into documents development TQ2. So this is where we have the threads app. So I'm going to install into the threads API. The thread API. So this is where we have the API, and we'll come back to this later. So what I want to do is go back to my terminal. So I want to see it into documents development, then threads app. All right, so yep, this is our app here. And looking at it, just going to open my file, and this is what we have. And you can see the last time, where we stopped was at the video page. So you can go to the home page. So we start at the profile page. So what we want to do now is we want to work on the authentication system in this section. So we want to connect our API to our app. All right, so in order to be able to achieve that, the first thing we want to do is in our lib folder, we want to create a new directory. So we're going to go to our lib folder. We're going to create a new directory called controller. So since we're using GetTech, so we're going to be using the model view controller system. So inside here, you can just create our auth controller. Right, so you can select controller with that. Then in our lib folder again, still we can create a new folder. Sorry, so let's create a new folder called services, and inside here I want to create a file called API services .dat. All right, so like I said, what we want to get started with is with a API service. All right. So for the API service here, I have a particular code written already. So I'm just going to copy everything here. So I'll have the repo in the description of the video so you can go ahead and follow up. So what I want to do here is simple. Okay. So I want to just paste it API service. So basically this API service, we undo our request. So rather than us repeating ourselves in different ways, we can just have this API service. So the API service here accepts a base URL, and we have the get method, which is just passing the get request. We have the post with token. So when they are authenticated already, we have the normal post request, which is like when we use for the login and register when they don't have a token yet. And we also have put, which is for updates. We also have delete, which we are not going to be using all those, but let's just have it there. Then we also have our handle response, which we are returning here. All right. So without further, let's just we can just save this. All right. So with this saved already, what we want to look at is I want to look at the authentication system. So for the authentication system here, what I want to do is in our controller here, where we have the auth controller. Remember that we created the auth controller. So in our controller here, the first thing we want to do is we want to create a class. So we're going to be creating a getTest class. All right, so we can go ahead and create a getTest class. So you are using getText. Make sure you import these. Sorry. So make sure you import these classes. All right, so I'm just going to import get. All right, and you can close this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is we want to call our API service. So we can call our API service here. All right, so we can call our API service here. Again, make sure you import this. I don't know why it's doing like this. Okay, now give me a few minutes. Let me change. Let me restart my system. All right, so what I want to ahead and do is just import the API service, as you can see at the top. Then there are a few things you want to do here. So I want to have a bowl, which is going to add on our loading. So once you click on the login or register button, we want to show you a progress bar or loading bar, anyone. So we can have that. Then I want to also update it based on the state of it, either it is false or it is true. You understand what I'm saying? So we want to have that also. So we're going to just call that response load. Okay. With that out of the way, the first thing we want to work on here is a register. So the register system is going to be accepting email, full name, username, and password. So that is what we want to do first. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create a method that accepts all those parameters. Okay, so I'm just going to put that here. So I want to have this. All right, so I'm just going to close this. Okay, so we are going to be accepting the email, the name, the string, username, and code. And with that, the first one to do is we want to call the response load. All right. So once you call this, the next thing we want to do is just want to use our try and catch method. All right. So I'm just going to format this in a good way. So in this place here, we're going to have we're going to just print e.toString. So we're going to have e.toString, and just right under here, want to have finally. So once everything has done, we'll just want to change the state back to false. So the loading attribute is going to stop loading. Now inside our try block, what we need to do is we need to pass our response. So we need to call our API service and we have to pass our response. All right. So we have this. So we have response API service. Then we are calling the post. Remember, the post is this one that we have here. All right. So now we are giving the endpoints, which is registered. Then we have our name, email, username, and password. It's as simple as that. And what we want to do here is want to go ahead and say if the response is true, show this particular stuff. If it's not true, show the errors. So I'm going to paste that and explain now in the B. Okay. So while we have this error here, we just need to import material, Flutter material. So yeah, which is a material dot initially. So you can go ahead and import that. So I'll import that at the top. You can see the errors are gone. You also need to import bottom bar and some stuff. So I'm going to import bottom bar. I'll explain why we have box in that place. So I'll explain that in a bit. But now let's just have this. So now we are checking if the response is true. We want to show sources and welcome. They want to save the token. That's why we are having the box. So we're going to create that in a Jiffy. But hold on. So once that is true, I want to redirect them to the bottom bar. Else, I want to show the messages. So it is that straightforward. But there is an issue here. So in the API here, we don't have any response that says success. So what I did was I added one. So I want you to go ahead and open the API that we have there. Alright, so I want you to open the API that we have there. So I'm going to sit into YouTube. I'm going to sit into Threads API, I believe. Yep. So I'm just going to open this up. Alright, and if I should open this up, what I want to go to is I want to go to my app, to my HTTP controller. Then I want to go to the controllers or authentication controller.php. And you'll see here right in the register there is now a new field that says success equals to true. Same thing for the login, success is equals to true. So make sure you add that in your code. And now the last the thing before we test it is you notice that there's a URL here. Yeah, initially no. When we want to run our project, so I'm just going to sit into my API. So okay, so I'm sitting into my API here. Initially we can just do PHP access and serve, but this won't work in our emulator because why would I explain this? Localhost doesn't work on emulators, so there's a way we need to share our IP address to the emulator. So to do that, well, first you want to make sure you're connected to your internet. So I can say I'm connected to my internet. And I'm going to just zoom this in case you can't see it. So I want to go ahead and do ifconfig. I believe on Windows it is ipconfig, so something like that. Just check it out. So look for your IP address here. I'm just going to find this, which is this inet. You can see you can copy this. So I'm going to clear this again. Now what I want to do is php artisan serve. I'll specify my host and I'll paste it there. Now you can see we have my Laravel project running on this port. So initially we can just copy this and I can head over to my browser and I can paste this here. You can see we have 404 error, which is showing that okay, sorry, wrong URL. Just going to cut that out. You can see our project is up and running, which is Laravel 10. So it's as simple as that. Okay, so once that is done, now let's look at this box here. So in order for us to achieve this box, what I want to do is in our lib folder, I want to create another folder called constants. All right, so I want to call it constants, and inside our constants, I want to create a new file called const. So we can say const dot dot. All right, so inside the const dot dot here, what we need to do is just import our get storage. We installed get storage, which is what we're going to be using. So we're going to import get storage. So we don't have get storage installed. Okay, that is interesting. So what we can do is just head over to pubdev. All right, pubdev, and you can go ahead and look for get storage. All right, so this is a storage something like shared preferences, but this is built by those guys that did getx. So you can just copy this. You can if you know how to install it other ways, you can go ahead and install it. So I just like doing it like this. Okay, so I'm just going to sit into threads app. So I'm just going to paste it. All right, so wait for this to finish. All right, so our project has successfully installed. Sorry, I said project. The package has successfully installed. So now let's go back there. You can see the error has disappeared. It's not appearing again. So we can go back to our auth controller. Now what we can do is now we can just import the box. So to import the box, what I'll do is I will just have this. So I can just import the box at the top, which is that. Okay, I'll save that and you can see my errors are gone. So now we want to now go ahead and test this in our register view. So we head over to the register view. All right, so we're going to head over to the register view. Once you're there, what we want to do is just head over down where we have our login. You can say our login is a chip. Our login is a chip. And, what we can do is we can wrap this chip with the widgets. So we can wrap this chip with the widgets. So I can say I don't know what is wrong with my system though. My days. All right, so we can wrap this with a widget. All right, so the widget we're gonna be wrapping this with is a gesture detector. All right, so this gesture detector we can just have on top. Okay. Yep. So that is one we have for now, and what we can do initially is at the top here we can call our auth controller, which is our gettext auth controller. So we can call our gettext auth controller here. All right, and make sure to import that. Okay, and what we can do is now we can just call it in our init state. So I think we should call this later on. It will give us an error. Oh, sorry. Let's just call this on. Okay, so we can have that. All right, so next thing we want to do now is in our gesture detector here. So where we have the gesture detector, once we wrap it with a get builder. So get builder allows us to manage the states, send requests, or do whatever we want to do with our gettext controller. So we're going to wrap this with a builder. All right, so this builder here, we're going to wrap this with a get builder, and it accepts something here. So what are we going to give it? We're going to give it our auth controller, and it always requires an init state. Not a state though, just requires something to start the request. And what we can do is kind of change that builder to controller. Now if I should run this, I think we should have an error. Yep, we have an error. So what we need to do is auth restart. So if you're wondering what editor I'm using Vim. So yeah, I'm using Leo Vim. Alright, so the error is gone. What we first thing we can just do is why is this return? Trying to figure out what to do. Okay, so we can go ahead and do if the controller dot is loading, right? So if it is loading, we want to have a const, want to have a circular progress bar, which is that. So if I should click, this is not supposed to be login, it's supposed to be signing. All right, so if I should click on this signing, okay, we don't get anything initially, which is strange. But let's continue. Let's continue. So here we can have our async, right? So we can have an async method here, and what we can do is we can just call it. We can await here. We can just await this here. All right. Yep, and this is pretty everything we need. Yep, this is everything we need. So save this and let's click on sign in again. You can see it is working this time around. And I have another that says the name field is required and so on. So now if I should try and register, it is going to work. So let's say I want to have an email. Say my email address. Okay, I want to have my name. I want to have dev, and I want to have my password. So I should try and sign in. I have another email has been taken already, so I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to sign in. Like you can see it works now. Success. Or you've you've created an account successfully, which is very nice. Okay, now let's go ahead and work out in the login part. So I'm just going to restart this. It's going to show the login page back. Now, to work on the login page, all we need to do is head over back to our auth controller. So the login page is very similar to the register page. So let me just tell you that it's very similar to the register page. So let's go back to the auth controller. And what I can do is you can just basically copy everything here. Right? So you can copy everything here. Alright. So once you copy everything, you can just paste it below. And so what I want to have is here in this place, we want to have login user. The user is logging with we log in with their username or password. So we're going to have them log in with their username or password. Right? Okay. Login with username or password. This endpoint is going to be login. And we won't be leading this, so we're just going to delete this. And we have welcome, and yep, everything is pretty much the same thing. Yep. So what I can just show you is in our this, you can make sure confirm where you have where username, login username. So this is where you're logging with username. So if you want them to log in with email, you can just change this to where email and accept only the email. So you understand? Alright. So now what we can do is we can now go back to the log. We can go to our login view. So now our login view is basically the same thing that we're doing to the register page that we're going to be doing in this place here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to copy I want to import our auth controller here. Okay, so in this state also you're going to call our auth controller. Alright, superb. And right where we have this chip also, so we're going to wrap this with a widget. This widget is going to be just like we did in that piece, a gesture detector. We want to have our auth controller here. We're going to have our init state. No, not init state, sorry. We're going to have init. So our init is going to be the variable we created at the top, which is auth controller. And we're having an sorry, my bad. Yeah, I'm moving too fast, man. This is supposed to be the on top. That is supposed to be for the builder. Okay, that's supposed to be for this. So let's wrap this with the builder. So we can wrap this with the builder. Yeah, we can just give it get builder. This should be an auth controller. And it needs to be our auth controller here. Okay, and changes to controller, not context. Okay, so what we can do now, you can just call our async. We can say we can await our request to the server by doing await controller dot login user. And I just want to format this a bit. Okay, so here we're going to have our username controller.text. Username is not defined. Okay, all right, so my bad. So it's just his email that we wrote before now, but you know, in my APN I've changed to username, so you're supposed to change this to username also. All right, and also this one's supposed to change to username. Same thing with this one. So username controller.text, and I like trimming it, so you can say .trim. So this will remove any unnecessary space in it. All right, so onto our password controller.text.trim also. So we should save this. Possibly we have an error. Okay, interesting, no error. And before that, I want to show our loading bar. So you can say controller loading dot is true. They want to show our progress bar or progress indicator. So let's just restart this to see to prevent any issue. Okay, now let's click login. Yup, you can see it is not working as expected. So let's restart this. Where did I make a mistake? All right. Email controller, why? Flutter restart. I'm having an error in display that says try correcting the name of the email controller. Okay. Oh, my bad. My bad. This is supposed to be a username controller. So we can just restart this again. And yep, everything should work now. So now if I click on register, you can see we have this error. And what I can do is I can just change this to username instead. Okay, so now we can just have dev, I believe, password, click on login, and Voila. So you've successfully logged in. So there's one last thing we need to do. So once the user has logged in, we don't want to be showing the home page and those, those style rubbish again. So what you can do is you can go to our main.dat. So I'm just going to head over to my main.dat. All right, so my main.dat here, right after this place, I can say box. So this is supposed to import our box from this constant. So you can say box.read. So what are we supposed to read? So sorry, box dot. So box.read, yeah. So what should box.read token is equal to none. If it is none, if it's not equal to none, I mean we want to go to our bottom bar, which is going to show this screen here. But if it is null, we want to show our login view. So meaning you've not logged in or created an account. I'm just going to import this. All right, and this will not work still because in our main we need to specify something that our get storage in it. So without this, the get storage will not work. So we want to have await get storage. So get storage dot initialize. So let's Flutter restart. Okay, so you should Flutter restart this. Why is it not restarting? Okay, all right, it's working now. Yeah, so we have our we have our token stored already. Yeah, so we've logged in. We can't go back to our other page. So yeah, we're done with the authentication system. So next one I want to work on is a post. So I want to be able to create posts. All right, so as expected, like I said, this tutorial is just going to be fast-paced. So if you want to follow up, if you can follow up initially, you can just go to my GitHub and clone it. All right, so what I want to do now is in our features folder here, let's create another folder called posts. Right, so inside the post, I want to create a file called create posts.dat. So this is create post.dat. I'm basically going to take everything I have in my previous project. I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to explain everything one after the other. So we're going to be having an error here for sure. And in order to be able to fix this error, so the first thing we need to do is we want to have our logic controller. So this one controller is going to handle us working with images. So it's going to work and allow us to work with images. So we want to be able to pick images. So in the logic controller here, so what we can do is we can go to our controller at the top here. We can create a new file called logic underscore controller dot dart. So this logic underscore controller dot dart, we want to have this particular stuff, this particular code, I mean. So we have our extended getText controller. We have a function which is called pick image, and we are using the pick image package, which we are going to install very soon. So before that, we can just fix this error by doing CA and wait, what? Okay. In order for that to work, we need to install image picker. So we can just go back to my browser, and you can search for image picker. Okay, so just going to install this image picker. So I'm going to copy this, add back. I'm going to install image picker. So let's wait for this to finish installing. All right, so it is done, I believe. Just need to okay, now so it is done. So that error is gone. So we have our logic controller here. So this allows us pick image. So we are using the pick image source. And what is the source we're going to be passing? We are going to be passing that through our controller. So our post controller. So in our post controller here, the first one to have is a create post. And our create post is accepting an image. So the logic to that is a little bit different. So to send an image with HTTP package is a little bit different. So what we can do is let's first create our controller. So we can have our post underscore controller dot dart. All right. So the first thing we want to do is just we want to have our class. All right. So I'm going to install getText here like this. My system has started again, so I'm just going to pass that at the top here. Okay. And the few thing we need to do is we need to just specify some stuff here. So we can just specify our is loading, just like we did in the odds. Let's specify our is loading and our base URL. So I'm just going to import my API service. Okay. And the first thing we want to do now is remember we have to have our response load. So we have to have our response load here. And okay, now the first function I want to do is I want to create a post. So I have feature void create post. Before that, I think we should work on getting all our posts first, because we actually need that. And to do that, before we even do that, let's take a look at our post response. So I'm going to open my postman. Okay, there's no need for me to open my postman actually. So in order for us to create our API model, so I use this app.api. I'm going to drop the link in the description below. So I use this quick type. So quick type generates an API for us based on our API response. Generate a model for us based on our API response. So you can see I have the sample response gotten from our store. So this is what we have. You can just paste it here like I did. What you can do is you can just copy the code here. Make sure you click on this and this. All right. So once that is done here, you can go to this place, our lib folder. So in our lib folder here, we can create a new folder called model. So we can call models. All right. And inside models here, we can create a new file called post underscore model dot dart. All right. So I need to just paste that there. We have no issue with that. So now let's go back to our post controller here. Now let's work on our get post. So before we can work on our get post, so we want to make sure we have a list of posts that is empty and is also observable. No, observable is because we're using Rx here. So Rx means it is observable. So we can import, make sure you import the model. So I'll import the model also. Okay, so import the model, and what we want to do now is we just have a function that is called get or post. All right, so we want to have a function that's called get or post. And this is going to have the box read, so make sure you import our box from our constant file. Okay, so you make sure I have. Okay, and that is everything we need. API get service thread. We have our box token. Once we return our response with this returning threads by default, because if you should check our code, our PHP code here. Where is it? So if you should check our PHP code here, we have threads controller. I can see we are returning where is it? Threads here as our response. Okay, so I'm just putting the length, the data. Now we have the post value. So we want to clear the value anytime a request is made, because if the value is there once the request is made, what's going to happen is that it's going to just keep appending. It's going to keep adding. So we have duplicates in different places. So we need to clear that first. Then we're going to now add everything here. So yeah, I'm updating the model. I'm updating the data. So yep, for you to just work. Yeah, we can go ahead and have print e dot to string, right? Okay, good. All right, so with that out of the way, now let's go ahead and work on. You see why we needed to do that first. So for the create post, we have a method called create post. All right, so we have a method called create post. Okay, and I'm just going to put that right here. Okay, and we need to import HTTP. So let's import HTTP, and also so for we're having this error file. Yeah, that's because we just need to import that IO. So you're just going to import that IO. Right, so every error is gone already. And apart from this JSON the code, so the reason why this JSON code is there is because we need to import that convert. So we need to import that convert, and that is done. Right, so also our bottom bar, which is where they will get redirected to once the post has created successfully. Okay, and I believe all the errors are gone. So now we have a function called create post, which is accepting a body and image, but the image is null. The image is not necessary. Now we want to load once they click on the button, and we have our URL, which is create/thread, because if we should check our API here, and I go to API, and I go to API.php, you will see we have create/threads in this place. All right, now because we are not sending a normal post request, we are passing an image to it. So we want to use those multi-pass request, giving it post and our URL. Then we want to pass our header to it, application JSON, authorization, also our token. We want to say the one of the fields body is what body. If you have another body like tags and whatever, you can also have to add request.field tag, pass it also. So now we are checking if the image is not null. We want to now do request. This is how we add image to our request. So we say request.file.add await http multipath file.from. So this image here is going to be the image name that we're passing in this place, which is image. Our request file is called image, so that is what you're going to pass there. And we are going to now give it the image part. Let me just add comma here so you can format this very well. So I have the image part. As you can see, it's as simple as that. Now we want to go ahead and do just try catch. So response are with http response.from stream. Then we're going to send the request, and we are going to get everything that we needed. So from here is self-explanatory. And yeah, why we need this get post search, because once you've created a post, once you now fetch every new post, and that is going to include your post also. I want to show success. I want to return back to our page. So when you return back to the page, you should be seeing your post has been created already. So that is the reason why I want to have that. Now let's go back to our create post now. So our error should be gone since we have almost everything there already. So now let me explain the first thing. So first thing I want to do is I want to restart this so you can see our UI. So we've restarted that. So you click on this. Okay, this one works still. So we need to just go to our bottom bar. Where we have this create post here. We can just have create post. So we're going to have create post page. Now let's Flutter restart again. Alright, so it's working now. So you click on that. And so we have this. So username. What I noticed in our API is that we didn't write an API to fetch the user data. So that is going to be one of you guys things to go ahead and do. And I would really appreciate if anyone gets back to me if they've been able to complete this profile page. I wanted to show the username. If you can, just let me know what you're able to do. So because I feel like the trace app has taken too much time, so I just to say, okay, let me just do the core parts of it and maybe everyone will finish it. So after this, you're going to be starting every tutorial fresh. Everything is going to be going as smooth as possible. But for now, you just have to bear with me on this one. Okay. Now let's go back to the create post. Now the create post here, you can see we have our weight controller pick image. So we are calling the pick image here. Image source or gallery. So I think we want to pick from our gallery. This has two different sources. There is an image source for camera. So this will allow you to take photos from your phone and just upload it. Oh my days, what the actual hell? Okay. Okay, so that one allows you to just pick image from your gallery. And how we're able to achieve that is we should look at the top here. We have our post controller here. We have our logic controller here. And we have both of them right in this place. Remember, we have our body controller, which is a text editor controller. Now, for this image picking, so this image picking, we are wrapping it with a get builder, logic controller, expanded column. Now, I want to say if the image is not long, we want to show a particular big image, but if it is none, we don't want to show anything at all. So we're not showing any image. And our text reader passing our body controller here. So here, this is where we are picking the image if this button is clicked. Okay, yeah, so I even implemented the camera. So once you click on this camera, it's going to about that can work on iOS, only emulator, only on the real device. Now what we did next was just call our logic controller first. We can call two builders. So I have my first get builder here, and we have the second one. So the first one is the post controller, the second one is the logic controller. So we have why we have two here is because for the image I want to check if it is null. If it's not null, we want to pass the image part, but if it is null, we just want to pass null. That means they are posting without any images. Alright, so we're checking if it is loading or cool. So before I move ahead here, there's something we need to do here, which is for iOS actually. So for iOS here, we need to open up our info.plist. So we need to open the info.plist file. So there's some configurations you need to do. I'm just going to copy and paste that so you can see. So the info.plist, and yep, this is it here. So you can just paste it before the development region. So you can paste this. If you go to the documentation, you always find it there. So you can paste this before the region. So I can save this. So this is just interest, needs or camera. These are just permissions. On Android, is going to the permissions are there automatically. Because if you should go to readme here, you will see it here. So these are the permissions here. So that is it there. And now since we want to be picking our image, the application won't work because if we try, it's going to initially just give us an error, blah 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 blah. So you can see. So what we need to do is just we need to end it, and we need to start from begin. We need to run it again ourselves. So I can just go to, let's say, that file. I can see Flutter quit. So I'm going to stop the application. Now I can run it back. Okay, I can run it back. So Flutter run, and yep, let's wait for this to run again. All right, so yep, it's not running. So we can try this out. So I can just say I want to pick an image. So you click on that, and no, okay, no error. So it's working now. Initially, it's meant to show a pop-up that this application wants to use. I think because I've run it before, that's why it's not showing. So just going to select this image. Now the image should show, yep, it's appearing there, and we can say hello world. Right, and I can post this, and hopefully this works. Yeah, you can see posted, it works, voila. Okay, so once with that out of the way, and what we want to do next is let's try and show our post to the screen. Yep, so let's try and show our post to the screen. So in order to achieve that, we're going to have to head over back to our remember we have a file called home. So inside this home.dat, this is what we want to have, and I'm just going to copy the new one. All right, so what I can do is I can go to the top here. You can see delete. This is a new one. Okay, I will have an error that says feeds is not defined. But before that, let's just explain what happened. So what happened is I have a post controller. We have that post controller. You've called it here, and what we'll be doing initially is more in the init state. So that is not a new thing. You can see okay. Now we have a get builder here. Post controller. We do this is also a new thing here, and we want to check if it is loading. If it's loading, we want to show the progress bar. And now we have a list view builder. So this list builder here, we don't want it to scroll. We will just want this scroll view to work. We don't want this one to scroll. So our item count is going to be the total post in our database, which is going to be controller.post.value.length. I want to have item builder context and index. I want to now pass every index to our feed widgets. No, now this feed widget is where we have this rubbish here. So this widget there is going to change a lot. It's going to change a lot. So what we can have is in our feed widgets here. I'm just going to select everything here again. Just delete this. I'm going to paste all this here. All right, so there's some stuff I would like to comment like this, like post. All right, I'd like to comment that we've not gotten there yet, and this. Where is it? Is it this? Okay. Okay, this one. Yeah, I'm just going to comment this out. All right, and yep. Okay, and this single post also, I'm going to comment this single post. So we don't have any single post, and yep, everything should work as expected. And yeah, we can just comment this. So we'll get to that soon. Okay, now we have this feed post here. So this feed is going to require our first model, our post model. I mean, so we're passing it here. So it's requiring this settler widget. You can see we are getting post user, username, post user, post data, and so on and so forth. So now if I should go ahead and Flutter restart this. What's happening? Flutter restart. We should have our data here. So what is the issue we having here? We're not actually having any issues. Okay, so I think let me just go to let's go to the home page. All right, so we're in the home page, and let's restart this again. I don't know why it's giving an error. And mm, let's check it out. So let's go to our post controller. So let's go to this get service print. Okay, yeah. The reason why it's not working is because we need to init state, meaning exactly as this controller is initialized, we just want to run this particular method. And what is the method? Which is going to be get or post. Get or post. Now let's flutter restart, and that should work. Yep, it's loading. We have our data here. You can see the image is showing. So yeah, this is working because this is populated because I have tested this before. So there's many data here, but you just take a look at this. So I posted 4 minutes ago, not the one that's posted 4 days ago. So this is the new one we posted. And something I want to note that is your image is not going to be actually showing. So in order to make it show, you can go to our resource, our thread resource. I can say I have, if this image is equal to null, just return null. But if it is not, you want to append our URL. I want to replace public with storage. I want to give our image. So now you're having the right URL to load our image here. You can see it's working out. So I can go ahead and create another post with no image. Okay, so I can post this. Like I say, I'm back here with no image. Right. This is nice. Okay, so with this done, let's just go ahead and work on the like system. So we want them to be able to like our posts. So which is what we're going to be working on next. All right, so for us to use to create a like post, we can just have our function called like post, which I'm going to explain now. Just going to grab that from here. Okay, so we're going to have let me just put it under here. So we're going to have like posts. Our URL is thread like post ID. Our personal token, everything is just that. Now the real time stuff where we want to like and post, we want it to show right and so on. So once it's updating real time, what we want to do is post index, selecting the index where our post ID goes to this particular post ID here. So if the post ID is not less than 1, it's going to be true. So and it's going to update is liked. So initially I added, I added a new stuff to our model, to our thread resource. So check it. So if the like contains user ID, so it's going to return true. But if it doesn't contain the user ID, it's going to return false. So this is going to be true or false. So if it contains, if it is liked, if it's equal to true, it's going to update it and set it to not equal to true. So the same way for else here. Else is when you want to dislike the post. So you are checking 200. So the status code, if the status code is 200, that means you've successfully liked the post. Because if we should go to our API here, we can say React here. We have response 200 for like and 201 for like and 200 for unlike. All right. So that is just that. Now we can just go to our feed widget here. And our feed widget here, where is a particular code I commented out for the like? So this one here, I can just uncomment it and I can save that. So now if I should click on like, that should work. I've liked this post successfully. Click on this. I've liked this one also. I can like, you can see, and I can also like again. So the like is pretty much straightforward. And the last thing we want to do in the story is the comment section. Okay. Now, so for the comment section here, what I want to do is I want to make use of Flutter, get this bottom sheet. So I'm just going to comment all this. So I'm going to have an error that says comment sheet is not defined. Yeah, because I accepted the comment sheet as a widget, which is what we're going to be using. Just like the threads, when you click on the comments, you want to have a pop-up that shows up like this. So you're going to be using get this comment sheet. So in our widget, our widgets folder, we can have comment underscore sheet dot that. Okay, so paste this right, paste that right there, and yeah, you can save this. And the first thing we want to do is let's just comment this because we'll get back to this later. So let's comment this one. All right, so now in our feed widgets, I believe there's no more. Okay, there's error here. So you say comment sheet is not defined, so we can just try and import that. System has started its rubbish again. uh okay, so I'm coming. What I just want to do is import the comment sheet. I don't know why my system keeps acting up all of a sudden. This is one of the reasons why I'm even doing the copy and paste course. I don't know. Okay, we have it here already. So I'm just going to have this. Okay, and I believe your error is gone. I can start a comment to showing. So now when I click on this comment, you're going to have this pop up with our image in it, or you can say replying to dev, which is who posted this thing. So if I should click on this one posted by Dev Precious, and just like click on it, you can see reply to Dev Precious, which is pretty much beautiful, innit? It's pretty much beautiful. I know you're feeling it though. All right, so what we can go is our comment sheet here. Now what we want to do is in our post controller, you want to allow them to be able to make comments. So to do that, to go to comments, so we just want to have a post comment, right? So we go to our post controller, I can add this after the like. Again, I'll just go in my GitHub, so go ahead and check it out. Okay, post comments, we need the ID, the body, post with token, threads, comments, passing the thread ID, which is the post ID, the body, make sure you have your token and everything is successful. You want to get all the posts again, and yep, that is just everything we need. And now we can go back to our comment sheet. We can see once you comment on this. All right, now we should go ahead and click on what's up, gang. So I see what's up, gang. Yep, reply has been sent already. So initially, if you check the post, you will have it. So this is where we now need the last part of this tutorial, which is viewing this post single. It's this single post. All right, so that will be the last part of this tutorial. All right, so for the single post here, all we can do is gonna go to our post and we can create a new file called single post. So you go to our post model, post folder, I mean, we can have single underscore post dot. All right, so you can paste everything that we need in this place. Again, find it in my GitHub. So this is just the UI, right? So I'll explain it once everything is working as expected. So what we can do is go back to the feed widget again. I believe it's a feed widget. And let's look for the first I want to do is uncomment this single post here. Where is it? Where did I commented it out? Okay, yeah. So in the process of it passing, we are passing our post to it. So once every post you click here, it's going to pass here. You can see we have replies. There's no reply on that here. So if I click on this one, the replies are not showing under here either. Let's click on this one. I can see you have replies commenting on these sorts of gang. So that's the reply. And why I like this stuff is because I have this image. I can say click on this and it still works just as expected. You feel me? So that is why I like using widgets. So you make sure you use widgets from now on. So what I want to just do is just explain the single post and we call it a day. So the single post here just this design, passing everything, just like the widgets, feed widgets. What we just did was have our post controller, and our post controller here. So post controller, controller equal like post. You can also like post on this particular page. But how are we fetching the comments is as simple. So you know we are passing the post, and for every posted there's a comment. If you look at our response, so I have a post here. Another that post, I have a comment. That is our comments here. You know, every comment has got sub comments there. So can you try and do that? If you can, if anybody can try and implement the page user profile or whatever, just let me know. Send it to me on Twitter or whatever. Let's see if you can do that. So I've been busy and I doubt I have enough time to be able to do that. So post comment in this body, and so on and so forth. And this is what we're having all this year. All right, so that is everything for this tutorial. If you feel like this tutorial is not what you expected, I'm sorry, but I've been busy, so I just try to cover everything up. So next, the channel is going to be taking a big step. We're going to be posting a lot as from now on. So without further ado, I hope I see you the next time, and God bless you for supporting me. I will just reach 2K subscribers, which I'm very happy for. Again, thank you. God bless you. Stay blessed. Peace.